Oh, Dad.
Yep.
If we ever by chance want to design some more shirts and order some more,
Yeah.
my father-in-law's custom printing business has T-shirts and all we have to do is send him the JPEG of what we want, and he can do it at a good price.
Okay. The only thing is, if I do it on the T-shirt website that I have our shirts on,
Yeah.
then for every shirt that we sell, I get $2 back.
Really?
Yeah. So I've actually made some money on my monk T-shirt that I made. I've actually had people buy my monk T-shirt. Yeah.
That's cool.
So that's the only reason why I wouldn't do it with your father-in-law, just because I can make a little bit of money, but not that much. Okay, I've got to resituate my camera and stuff because I'm too close to the... Anyway, I feel like I'm off center. So, and Ranger panties are not the most comfortable thing to wear all the time.
What did you just say?
Ranger panties.
Is that the same as going commando?
No. That's Ranger panties are like their PT gear. They're PT shorts. They're usually really, really short and they're thin. Because they get hot when they work out, and they're so they call them Ranger panties. And I got a bunch of PT gear when I was working at the unit, and so got some PT shirts, and they got the PT shorts, and they're pretty short and they're thin and they're cool. I mean, temperature cool, but they're just kind of uncomfortable when you're just sitting in them all the time. So. I feel like I'll need to let my camera down some, but if I do, then you can't see our sign behind me, which means I need to sit higher. But anyway, it is what it is. Are you viewing the stream?
Yeah.
Then you and I are the only ones in there because there's two viewers. It's not like the beginning of a Jamiroquai song. My beverages for the podcast are decidedly more tame since we do them on Monday nights.
Yeah.
Which is kind of disappointing. Water. That's what I'm drinking.
Wrong. Fruit punch.
That needs to be the thumbnail for the YouTube video.
Wait. Let's do it at the same time. Okay?
Go. Okay. Done. If anybody's in there watching, they're like, "Who are these idiots?"
I don't know, but we should probably start.
Yeah, we probably should. So I'm gonna stop the music. We'll go silent. Start the recording, and then once this theme music starts, then you know. Okay. Let Connor do the dancing while I do the production stuff on this side. Must be nice having a responsibility-free role on this show.
Hey, I have a lot of responsibility. I'm the one that brings the funny. Do you know how hard that is?
Hey everybody, welcome to episode 73 of the Gene Pill Variety Hour. I am Sean, I'm the old guy of the group, one of the co-hosts, and that guy on the other screen is...
And my name is Connor, aka QuillMiester, aka the real brains behind this operation, as I bring the comedy, and that takes real skill here.
So that's your
Anybody,
responsibility is
anybody
the
can.
comedy.
A trained monkey can work the keyboard.
Oh, okay. Then I want you come over here, trained monkey, and you do all the button presses. So,
I would, but gas is $5 a gallon. No, thank you.
well, I can just send you the equipment and you can run the show. How about that?
Uh, do I have the do I have the production space you do? No, I do not. Do I have the
I
bandwidth you do? No, I do not.
That is true. So then yet again, I am the Abbott to your Costello. I do all the
Yes.
background work while you do all the funny stuff. So
Yeah. Oh,
anyway,
also, just one quick thing.
sure.
Jensen Ackles' prediction was correct. As soon as we hit $5 a gallon, we hit the apocalypse.
Well, we've hit $5 a gallon and we haven't hit the apocalypse yet.
You don't know that.
Oh, but I did. Oh, trust me, I do. If we'd hit the apocalypse, we would all know.
I mean,
We would
you'd think that, but look at Supernatural.
Who cares
and
about
it was
Supernatural?
all happening behind the sidelines.
If we hit the apocalypse is going on. We wouldn't even be talking about $5 a gallon gas. That would be one of the least of our worries. So just saying,
So says you.
$5 a gallon gas, end of the world. $5 a gallon gas, end of the world. I think end of the world is a bigger story. Anyway, just my opinion. So anyway, we are a father-son duo, and we just kind of hang out and talk nerdy stuff. This is a way that we used to just kind
I'm
of
the father. He's the son, as you can clearly tell.
Oh, right. Yep, that's it. Yep.
You look young for your age. I look old for my age.
That's true, but not so much that we have flipped roles.
You don't know that.
Maybe older brother, younger brother, but not your dad and I'm kid. So, no. Anyway.
That's the joke, Dad. That's the joke. These are the jokes, man.
So, we're the only nerds in the family, and we talk nerd stuff all the time, and we just decided a few years ago to kind of piddle with the podcast, and then about a year ago, we started streaming. Well, not quite a year ago. We started streaming them, and so that's what we do. So, we typically will just talk a bunch of nerdy stuff. We review a random movie every week, and we talk some kind of geek question that Connor comes up with, and then chase whatever chickens come along the way, because that's what we do, because we're both ADHD. So, that being said,
when we first started this, we knew we weren't going to get a lot of followers. This was just a more extravagant way of us hanging out with each other. It was just a way for us to get out our geekiness.
Right, and I mean, I don't like talking on the phone. And we live near each other now. We didn't for a while, but we're both
again,
in Ohio.
$5 a gallon of gas.
Yeah, but we're both in Ohio. But yeah, $5 a gallon. So I hate talking on the phone and I hate doing video chats. But this, as part of a stream, is part of a setup, and maybe other people coming in and chatting with us occasionally, like last week. Yeah. Great. If not, whatever. So,
or on Saturday. Saturday was fun, having all those people chime in.
Saturday is going to be a fun thing, I think. I'm not sure if I want to do a one game for an entire month, but we'll see. If
you think about it, if we do it for a whole month, then we'll get to see a kind of strategy to choose our build up and actually have some fun with the game instead of just fiddle farting around for an hour.
But we're talking about me and you. Isn't that pretty much our standard operating procedure, is fiddle farting around? Isn't that pretty much what we do all the time?
Not when it comes to video games.
Anyway, so
you choose one game and you play it religiously for years, never deviating from it, except for rare occasions.
Well, I mean, I
have variety.
Right. That's true. And so this is going to force me to get some variety in it. I just don't get a chance to play as much as I used to, and I kind of like to keep up with my friends because we do a dungeon together on Friday nights, and so I like to keep up with them level wise. So that's pretty much what I do. But the Saturday morning stuff that you and I are starting to do last week, we started playing Minecraft Dungeons on Saturday mornings. Saturdays.
And what do we call this stream?
Game passing through, because we play a Game Pass. Because we pick a random game off of Game Pass to play on the Xbox, and so we picked Minecraft Dungeons this last Saturday. We do that 8 to 10 in the morning on Saturdays. couple of Saturday morning buffoons playing games. So that's what we
Yep.
do.
It's fun.
So yeah. So where do we go from there? That's pretty much
Um,
our long-winded
let's
introduction and
see. Let's see.
rambling description of what we do. Now what?
Small life
Why do
updates.
I
What do you
keep
think?
why do I keep looking at you over here when you're right up there, and I can look at you and the camera? I don't know why I keep doing it. Oh, by the way, I forgot to do this.
What?
Forgot to put the timer on the screen. So
Uh,
keep,
uh, we're only about 5 minutes over. Who cares?
And we hardly ever pay attention to the timer anyway. So
It's more for decoration, really,
Yeah.
and to help us keep on somewhat of track, so we don't ramble for 2 hours.
which we kind of do anyway. We were an hour and a half last week.
That's because it had been 6 months since we last did it, so we kind of went over.
So we didn't stream for like 6 months because I changed jobs and moved across the country and all that kind of stuff, and had to build a studio area.
Awesome new studio. It's so cool, you guys. It is just so cool. Look at the colors. Look at the decoration. Oh my god. I don't know why I did that.
I don't either. It's great radio for the podcast people that don't see it. If you want to see it, come see us on Twitch on Monday nights at 7. If you're sitting there going, why do they keep talking about stuff that we can't see? Well, then maybe that should be a clue that you should come see us on Monday nights at 7 on Twitch. Just saying.
I can't help but describe what I see if I'm looking at it in the moment.
I get that. But it is what it is. So, any cool nerd stuff happening this week for you?
I have recently gotten back into Skyrim.
Yeah, I saw you playing that a while ago.
Oh yeah. And it's been fun because I hadn't had a lot of playtime in some in that game, except for like one character, which is my super sneaky Argonian Lyzen. And so I decided to make a whole bunch of different classes of characters. I've got a dual one wielder. I've got a two-handed wielder. A mason shield user. A non-sneaking bow exclusive user, and then a full-on mage. Recently I've been playing both my two-handed user, Crushinette. Yes, it's a female
creative.
orc. It's a female orc who has a frickin' battle axe. Imagine that running up to you.
Cool. All right.
And then I've also been playing my mage a lot too, and his name is Zandarex.
Okay. Cool. So what is your plan? Are you just gonna play 15 different characters like that and just kind of run around in 15 different characters and 15 different storylines? Or are you gonna play one through, then play another one through? What are you gonna do?
I usually play one for a bit until that character feels like it's been played out for a bit, and then I switch over to a new one to take a break from it, so that then when I go back to the other one, I gain a new appreciation for it, and can relearn all the combinations I got with the play style, you know.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, I mean, I love Skyrim. That I've spent hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands, of hours.
Two different main game streams of a melee exclusive Khajiit.
Not melee, unarmed combat. I didn't use weapons. I just punched.
That's what I'm. Well, what about the one where he used a fork and a knife and he was a vampire?
That's the one I started doing. And then we with the game streams, and I didn't get there because I had to find a usable fork. Remember, and there's only like 2 in the entire game that you can use as a weapon, and you have to find them. And I don't think I ever actually got there, and then the stream kind of petered out. But I did have Punchy Pussyfoot, my unarmed combat Khajiit character, where I did enchanting. I didn't do any of the glitches to get like crazy enchantments. I just followed the game rules and just enchanted things very strongly and added enchantments to different pieces of equipment. So much so that I could punch out a dragon. Unarmed combat, I could just walk up to a dragon and punch him and kill him.
My favorite clip still is
I believe I can
is
fly.
the one where you get absolutely rocked by a giant and
Yeah,
somehow end up flying 100 feet in the air in
yeah.
classic ragdoll spinning fashion.
I need to find that clip somewhere. Yeah, that
Please
was pretty.
do.
That was a pretty funny clip.
Yeah.
I've got it somewhere. I just can't remember.
It's been
I'm so.
overdone to heck. Heck, that that type of scene has been overdone to heck
I
with that
know.
sound
I
bite,
know.
but it's still funny to watch.
Right. Yeah, that was pretty funny. Yeah, and
Ooh,
so.
if you find it, you should re-edit it to do the Taco Bell dong, and
Oh,
then once it
right,
hits
right,
you, it's
right.
just dong.
But the other thing that I did do,
That's
because I
awesome.
had I used all the plugins. What were the plugins called that you could put into Skyrim? Were they just called
Do you mean
plugins?
mods?
All the mods. Yeah, I put in a mod that gave your unarmed combat wrestling moves. So my Khajiit would do back suplexes and pile drivers and that kind of stuff. So that was the finishing move or wrestling moves. It was pretty funny. So to see a Khajiit dressed in like full on like fur heavy armor, black fur heavy armor, punching dragons to death and doing back suplexes on the enemy and stuff. That was pretty funny. That was pretty. So it's still out there. There's still footage because there's still a channel. The old YouTube channel is still up, so you could get to it if you want. I think what was it called?
Here
Arab.
comes John Feline.
Well played, son. Well played. Well played. So, yeah. So as far as stuff on my end, nothing other than I've played a little bit of Destiny this week. Actually, I haven't played that much. Been doing stuff around the house. Um, your mom and I started watching 24 again, so that's
Oh,
always
that's a good show.
yeah. So we're on season 1. She's
Yeah.
downstairs watching. I've watched it so many times that I can miss a few episodes and still know what's going on. So we're just on season
What
1. But what is something else
I'm
that I
blanking
saw
on the
recently?
name. I'm blanking on the name, Dad. What is the name of that show you and mom were like obsessed with years ago? It was the guy that came out of the coma and he could get psychic visions and such. He had the most boring name ever.
God, you would have to ask me that. That was I'm drawing a blank.
The character's name was John Smith,
Well, anyway, it was
right?
Anthony Michael Hall played him in the TV show. Christopher Walken played him in the movie.
Dead Zone. Dead Zone. That's it.
Yes, yes. So we weren't obsessed with it. We liked it, but shows
That
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 shows
was
that
your guys' 24 before 24 came on.
no. 24 came on before that. And we didn't watch that show till it was on like streaming service. We didn't watch it when it was live. So I don't know when we watched it, but 20.
Didn't it end with basically the guy's rival ending up being president and causing some kind of nuclear holocaust?
I don't remember. I don't remember. I mean, that tells you how much I remember about that show and how obsessed we were with it, quote unquote. Because I don't remember. But no, I mean, we were much more obsessed with shows like 24, X Files,
Criminal Minds.
Criminal Minds. Your mom watched Criminal Minds on Netflix so many times I couldn't even tell you how many times she's watched. And there's like 16
I watched it
seasons
with
or
her
something.
most of the time.
Yeah, you did. So
It's just a good show.
yeah, I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I've been watching Vikings, which is a really cool show.
That any good?
I started watching it a few years ago and got only like 4 episodes into it and then got sidetracked. So I'm watching it now. I'm almost through the first season. Because I think there's like 5 seasons and then they did a 6th season on Netflix or something like that. So that's pretty good.
I've been watching 30 Rock recently.
See, I don't watch too many. I mean, if we're going to watch comedies, we watch the old stuff. I mean, stuff that we like Seinfeld or Friends or, Office.
MASH.
We don't even watch MASH because I think you got to go to Tubi to see MASH or where I don't
No,
even know where.
it's on Hulu.
Is it on Hulu? Well,
Oh
your
yeah.
mom's not as big.
And you guys have my Hulu.
Yeah, but no, we got our own. But
Oh,
anyway,
okay.
so yeah, your mom's not as big of a MASH fan as you and I
Really?
were. Yeah, I mean she just liked it, but not like you and I did. So that would not be one that you and I would go to watch. But yeah, so that's pretty much all that's been going on around here. Yeah,
Ooh.
yes.
I have a fun wedding update.
Cool. Wedding up. I should have a sound effect for this. like wedding bells or something. Go ahead. Ding.
Um, me and Nix found our honeymoon cabin. It is an amazing cabin in the middle of a wildlife sanctuary. We are talking enclosures of all these beautiful, unique, exotic animals all around us.
That's
And
a horror movie
even
start. That's a horror movie plot right there. You know, your honeymoon
and
in a
even
wildlife preserve. No, with monkeys. There's gonna be some kind of virus going on, and y'all gonna spread some kind of virus. We're gonna have some kind of
ha
contagion.
ha ha.
I'm just telling you.
E-
Sounds pretty,
even in
but
one
they
of
all
our
sound that way.
cabins, even in the cabin we're staying in,
Mhm.
it shares a glass wall with the indoor enclosure of the snow macaques. So me and Nix could wake up in the morning, have breakfast, and just watch the monkeys right across the way.
Or
It
the monkeys could sit at the glass and watch you guys.
do what?
I don't know. It's your honeymoon. I don't know what you're planning. I have
Exactly,
no
it's
idea.
a honeymoon.
I have no idea. I'm not making a guess. I'm not making a guess. But the monkeys might grab some
You
popcorn and sit and
dog.
watch.
You dirty dog.
No, I'm just saying they might sit there and watch y'all take a nap. I don't know. Got him giggling. Got him giggling. So,
okay.
Yeah, let's call him a Goosfraba, dude. Goosfraba. Come on.
Goosfraba. That
So-
doesn't work.
No, it doesn't.
That was literally a word.
Woosa.
Woosa does work for me. Woosa
Anyway.
does work for me. But,
Anyway.
but honestly, I looked it up. Goosfraba is literally a word Jack Nicholson improved in that moment.
Yeah, I know. So anyway, that's kind of just what's been going on with us lately. Nothing interesting going on.
For
Yeah.
you, maybe.
Well, I'm getting old. I don't have that many. Isn't this show PG? Well,
this show
it's
PG?
supposed to be, but there's also a lot of like middle school innuendo humor. So,
And
we're
this movie we're talking about is definitely not PG.
it is. I mean,
With the words they use and the innuendos they use and the scenes they talk about.
it was PG.
Really?
It started out rated R, and then they changed it to PG because I'm sure they took some language out because there was no nudity, there was no real sex or anything like that. There was just some weird.
No, just the outline of someone's baseball bat sized Johnson.
But it was just an outline. It wasn't actual footage.
If you can see the dip of the tip, it's too graphic. The
dip of the tip. I've never heard that before. The dip of the tip. There's the pays. There's the phrase that pays.
Dip of the tip.
If you can see the dip of the tip, that is too much. Okay. The phrase that's gonna be on the marquee next week. If you can, the dip of the tip. There you go. That's gonna be on the dip of the tip. So anyway,
that was awesome.
So why don't we jump in? What do you want to do first?
Question, obviously.
Question, obviously. Okay, so let's do the geek question then.
I want to ask you a bunch of questions, and I want to have them answered immediately.
You're gonna do it, aren't you?
Gonna give you a break this week.
No, you're not. You're just
Yes,
you're gonna pause and you're gonna make me think that you're not gonna do it, and then you're gonna do it.
I'm honestly gonna give you a break this week, Dad. I'm honestly gonna give you a break this week.
Okay.
Until I nail this thing down.
Okay. So what we're talking about is Connor usually imitates Schwarzenegger, that line from that movie, every single time for every single episode we have, and he didn't. So he threw me a curve.
I'm trying to nail down his accent. He's a very unique voice.
So what's the geek question? It's not really a geek question this week but it's kind of a debate question, but it's
exactly
more science researchy kind of thing.
It's more like a moral question of humanity in a way.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
The question is, in engineering and scientific research, which do you think should be a first priority? Military application or civilian comfort?
Do you want me to go first, or are you going first?
I want you to go first. I honestly want to hear what you think.
Okay, I thought about this for a while, and I mean, obviously, folks, we want civilian creature comforts. We want those kind of things, right?
Yeah,
But I got
get
to
that.
thinking, based on a couple of things. One, humanity, just the basically horrible nature of humanity to begin with. That we're
Yeah.
all basically selfish, greedy people that will, sneak behind people's backs and do whatever to kind of get ahead, because that's just kind of what humanity is like, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And so if we
As
did
you always say, hey, right? As you always say, right? The best predictor of future behavior is past behavior.
right. So if all we did, if we put all of our research towards creature comforts and civilian comforts and those kind of things, if each country did that, if that was their goal, then countries are going to come up with really cool things that other countries are going to want. And if you don't have some kind of military presence to protect your country, folks will just come in and take it.
Yeah.
Like Russia, Ukraine, whatever. Just small things that are in the news right now. So there's
Let's not
that.
get political.
No, right? I know. I'm not making a political statement. I'm just saying that's something happening in the world right now, right?
I know.
So there's that I think that if we focused on civilian stuff and didn't have some kind of military application stuff going on, then that country's not going to be able to protect their civilian creature comfort research stuff that they've come up with. Someone's going to come in and take it from them, right? That's number one. Number two, a lot of things that are creature comforts today started as military applications.
I was about to say that. Yeah.
GPS started as a military application.
Oh yeah.
Now you tell me.
Actually,
you tell
fun
me.
fact, Dad.
Yeah, go ahead.
Dad, a fun. My father-in-law helped test out GPS positioning.
I remember you telling me that. Yeah, I remember you telling me that. So, one, I think we need military applications to protect the country and protect your assets, your civilian assets and products that you've created in your country, number one. And number two, a lot of military applications turn into civilian creature comforts. Cellular, satellite cellular data and cellular phones, cellular communication and GPS and all those kind of things started as military applications. And you tell me one person that can live without a cell phone and GPS these days. So I would lean towards military applications. Now, that may also date me. That also may age me, too, because I think the older generation tends to lean more towards, I think we should focus on that. And I think the younger generation focuses more on the more idealistic, we just need to make the world a better place. And I agree the world should be a better place, but also kind of have a more jaded, wise view of humanity and know that if we don't protect ourselves, folks are going to just come take it. History has shown that ad nauseum. Every culture, every civilization has been taken over by somebody at some point. Whether it's Greece or Rome or the Mongols or whoever it was, eventually somebody took them over. Right?
Yeah, I know.
So anyway, that's why I would focus.
Though,
yeah, go ahead.
At the same time, though, where would it end? When would the military side of the research end? When there's time travel and people can just basically stop an event from happening?
Well, I don't know. I don't know.
When would it end?
I don't think research will ever
eventually end. Because honestly, Dad, right now we are pretty militarily advanced. I mean, a lot of infantry troops is getting replaced by actual drones, and just people are just doing all this by remote locations and robots.
No, I get that. I get that.
So then when would it end? And then if that keeps on continuing, eventually, even the actual military will just become robots.
Sure. I know, I get that. I mean, we're on a bad track no matter what we do. Because see, if we focus just on the civilian,
sci-fi has taught us anything.
But if we focus just on the military side of things, we're going to eventually kill ourselves. Because
Terminator style.
We're going to eventually technology ourselves out of existence
Gonna matrix ourselves, basically.
through AI or whatever. Somebody's going to create AI, and AI is going to decide, and it's going to happen. AI is going to eventually go, hey, we're smarter than these people that made us. We're more efficient. I mean, the whole Matrix thing. So hold on. So if we focus too much on the military stuff, then yeah, we're going to kind of technology ourselves out of existence. If we and some of that can happen on the civilian side too, because a lot of the AI stuff has happened in the civilian sector. The Elon Musks, the Jeff Bezos, the Microsofts, the Apples, all that stuff, that's all civilian side, and they're doing it too. So, if we do that, then, like I said, we're going to eventually push ourselves out of existence. If we just focus on the civilian side of things, making things more easy, more comfortable, doesn't change our basic human nature, unfortunately, and it's going to get taken advantage of. Somebody's going to take advantage of it, right?
I can picture two good examples of the extremes.
Yeah, go ahead. I'd love to hear it.
Of the militant side of the extreme is the Terminator movies. They spent all their time to create this network that basically helped prevent crimes before they happened.
Yeah.
And by doing so, it created this complete and utter apocalypse.
Yeah.
And then on the other side of focusing only on creature comforts, the movie WALL-E,
No, absolutely. I mean,
if we just focus solely on creature comforts, eventually we would honestly become Huts, Jabba the Hutt sized people in some kind of assisted mobility system, and just having entertainment and information constantly fed into our eyes while eating whatever artificial, synthetic, whatever the crap that they give us.
We're pretty close to that already. I'm just saying, we're pretty close to that already. So those are
not
great.
To that extreme.
No, but those are great.
I'd say we're about I see we're about 2/10 of the way there.
Yeah, but we're great. But those are great examples, and I mean, I think Matrix is another one that can kind of go in a different direction, kind of on the same side as Terminator, but kind of in a different direction. Whereas in Terminator, the AI went to just get rid of us and just eliminate humanity, right? Whereas in the Matrix, the AI chose to just use us as batteries to power things. So they didn't get rid of us; they just used us. And then WALL-E went that, and I think both or all three of those show you kind of, if you take humanity to the nth degree, out to the absurd end, we don't know how to stop. We don't know how to stop advancing. We don't take too much time figuring out, okay, just because we can doesn't necessarily mean that we should, kind of thing. And I think
a good example of that.
Sure.
A good example of that ideal, Jurassic Park. Just because they were able and had the ability to bring back these dinosaurs didn't mean they should have.
It was a line from Malcolm in the movie, right? Yeah. Did you ever stop and think that maybe that we should, or whether or not
that
we
shouldn't?
So yeah.
Exactly.
So I think that, and you okay. So we've got a debate. You haven't answered the question yet. You haven't given me your answer yet. Wait. So I had an answer and you're having to think? That's unusual.
I just had to reorganize my thoughts.
Gotcha.
In my opinion, I feel like if we focused on civilian comforts a bit more and focused on what the person needs, which is clean energy, clean air, limitless food. If we focused on what is good for the people, there wouldn't be need for military research, because think about it. If people had the ability to live comfortably in their own land and didn't have to try and invade and take someone else's land, then there wouldn't be need for that conflict. If
that's assuming, but that's making an assumption that I don't want your land. That's making the assumption that everybody having their own stuff precludes some selfish person going, but I want more, and I'm going to take yours.
Hitler.
I mean, well, I mean, Hitler was whacked. Hitler had.
He literally said that about Poland, basically.
Well, I mean, it's kind of what is happening with Russia and Ukraine right now.
But
Russia's just saying we want your land, so we're going to take it. I mean,
but that's the thing. In my opinion, if the Russians were comfortable in their land with the stuff they had, if we could create a way for them to be comfortable with this research, there wouldn't be need to take someone else's land.
It depends on what the person's definition of comfort is. I mean, if you want to get into what Putin's motivations are right now, Putin's motivation is he wants to bring Mother Russia back to its former Soviet glory, which means taking more land from people. So that's the only thing that's going to make him happy. He could have, dude. He's got so much.
Russia is already the largest continent in the world.
And listen, and so what I'm saying is so he's just saying So you saying that if everybody is comfortable and have what they need, then they shouldn't want other stuff. He's one of the richest people in the world. He's a billionaire, and has yachts out the yin yang. He's got so much stuff, but his motivation is not just comfortable. He has this plan, and so that's what I mean. We can't guarantee that everybody is going to be comfortable with just my stuff. I'm comfortable, so I don't need anything else. There's always going to be something that's going to be greedy. That's the thing, right? That's all I'm saying. So it's dangerous either way.
Here's the thing, though. The only reason why people want old land back is because they feel like it was unjustly taken from them in the past. If all this time that was spent on military research could have been spent on a way to share land, on a way to make sure everybody had enough food, had enough funds, had enough shelter, that people wouldn't have needed that aggression to take someone else's food, someone else's land, someone else's shelter in the first place.
I get exactly.
That's where I'm coming from.
I get exactly what you're saying, but if you know history, if you know Russian history, and I do,
yeah, because because you minored in college, didn't you?
Right. So that's another story. But anyway, he's wanting to take back the Ukraine, not because Ukraine used to be part of the Soviet Union.
I know.
Right? But Ukraine was liberated from the Soviet Union because the Soviet Union took it in the first place. Exactly. So it wasn't theirs in the first place, and they took it. So it's not like Ukraine broke free. Ukraine was just freed from it. So it's a big political mess. There's a lot of history involved. He has a lot of old Soviet mentality. He was former KGB. So there's all this kind of stuff going on. But that just goes to show you that there's nothing that you could give him all the free food in the world and all the clean energy in Russia and all that kind of stuff that you wanted. He wouldn't be happy with that. That's the point I'm trying to make, that there's going to be some people that aren't going to be happy with having their needs taken care of. They're going to want more.
But then, but at the same time, with all these people who do all this military research, people are going to eventually be like, okay, I have this gun. And wait, that guy has a better gun. I want that gun. So I'm going to make my gun an even better gun. And then that guy must be like, I have this gun. Oh no, that guy has a better gun than my gun. So I'm going to make my gun into a better gun. So it's always just to be crass, it's just one giant dick measuring contest.
No, I get that. No, I completely understand, and that's why I said a while ago, you made my point that we don't know how to stop. As humanity, we don't know how to stop, and so we're going to advance ourselves out of existence at some point. whether it's global thermonuclear war, nuclear winter, whether it's global warming, whether it's famine, whatever it is, unless something drastic changes in humanity and human nature, not policies, because policies didn't change human nature. And so we can policy out the yin yang in every country, but if that's not going to change the basic human nature of people, not really going to matter.
I get that. I do.
You know? So really, it's kind of a catch-22, that question. There's no real good answer for that one, because
that's why I chose it. It got us to get into a nice intellectual debate, which we don't do very often on this show.
I think that's the first time we've ever done anything intellectual on this show. That's
true. And it's not bad, right?
Yeah, but I
had fun with it.
So I mean,
we still talked about nerdy stuff, didn't we?
We did. We got some Matrix and Terminator and stuff in there, and Ace joined in with us, and Wally, and Ace joined in with us too. So but anyway, so I don't know that there's a good answer to that question. I don't know that there's a clear answer to that question. Now, the answer to last week's question was a slam dunk. You were completely wrong last week, but that's just another issue.
Every other person I've asked about that question, even my militant veteran father-in-law said he would take the lion over the chickens.
Yeah, but that's a macho military mindset. I'm gonna take out the.
You've met James. He is not that macho. He's
the point
he's as tall as Luke, but as portly as me.
I know. The point I'm making though is everybody that I've talked to, that's thinking rationally goes, chicken, absolutely chicken. I'd fight a chicken in my car every single time, because what the chicken's going to do.
1,000 chickens a year.
Mm-hmm.
1,000.
Yeah, because chicken's not going to kill me. Lion will.
But that's the thing. You have a full year to prepare before the lion.
That's great. I can prepare to. I don't have. There's no way for me to train enough to be strong enough to fight off a lion. You just can't. Yes,
you do
just
realize
can't.
There's nothing in the question that prohibits you from having a weapon, right?
No, I get that.
So
right.
you can just get a goddamn shotgun, and as it comes running towards you, blam it right in the mouth.
Mm-hmm. But a shotgun is not. A shotgun will hurt a lion. A shotgun is not going to kill a lion. Now it may hurt. It may eventually.
Buckshot?
Oh, yeah,
from like 5 feet away. That's going to take out a chunk of skull.
We'll see. I need to see if somebody has a computer algorithm that can. I need to talk to our Legion of Dorks guys and see if somebody can write us a little algorithm and say, okay, if you fight a chicken 1,000 times, are you more likely to die from fighting a chicken 1,000 times than fighting a lion once? We should find somebody that can write up that algorithm and figure that out, and we'll answer it based on science.
Okay.
Moving on. Moving on.
To better have the algorithm be worded, it's at least 3 chickens a day for a year.
2 chickens a day. At least for me, it's to work and home. I don't really go anywhere else.
What?
And then on Sundays I go to church and home. I mean, we don't really go anywhere. I mean,
okay.
So on average, 2 times a day. There may be some days we do more, but there's some days we don't go anywhere. Like Saturday and Sunday, we didn't go anywhere this week because we were staying home with Mitch because he had COVID. So
yeah.
So anyway,
I texted him earlier today, and he said he was feeling better. Is that?
Yeah,
true?
he is. He's feeling better. He's fine. He's got the lingering cough and all that stuff, but he's fine.
Gotcha.
We forgot. Did y'all get COVID?
I got COVID. The very, very, very minor Omicron strain. Like this strain, I could have still worked.
Right.
In the factory with this strain that I had.
Okay.
The vaccine hit me worse than the frickin' disease did.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. So, how about we do the movie? I think
let's do this movie.
That was a good debate question. It wasn't necessarily geeky. We got some geek stuff in it, but it was
still fun to have a sort of intellectual, debatey conversation. I liked it.
So yeah. Anyway, all right. So let's do the movie.
Stretch our mental muscles.
All right. So for our movie this week, we rolled for it last week, as you can see on the screen. If you're watching the stream, if you're not, you'll just have to go and see it. So it's time for the next installment of
Roll for Credits.
There we go. So for folks that are kind of new to us and to this whole thing, and if you ran across us randomly, my condolences to start with. But other than that,
hey.
So we do a segment called Roll for Credits where we will roll Dragon Dice and pick a random movie off of one of the streaming services to talk about. We don't say we review them. We just talk about it. So we look at Amazon, Netflix, Hulu, and HBO Max. And then once we pick one of those from the Dragon Dice, then we roll a 10-sided die for the genre. And then we roll a 100-sided die to pick a movie at random in that genre. So last weck, I even forgot what service it was. But anyway.
HBO Max.
Okay, we were on HBO Max, and it was comedy, and we landed on Anger Management, which I'd seen before a long time ago. Connor had never seen it before. Anger Management with Jack Nicholson, Adam Sandler, Marissa Tomei,
Woody Harrelson,
John Turturro. There were cameos, small roles by Woody Harrelson, Heather Graham, John C. Reilly. Great cat, Luis Guzman. It was a great cast.
That was Chuck, wasn't it?
John Turturro was Chuck.
Okay.
His part, his anger partner, and then
his anger ally.
Yeah, Luis Guzman was the one that was always wearing like the fishnet, like mid-crotch shirt.
Guy.
Yeah, that guy. So, and then I forgot the name of the other guy that played like the sports nut. I forgot his name.
I don't.
But anyway,
he's been in a couple of Adam Sandler projects.
Yeah, he has. He plays the guy with a goofy eye kind of thing.
Grown Ups.
Yeah, in Grown Ups. Yeah, that guy. So
and he laughs like a weirder version of Seth Rogen.
Yeah. That was in it. My thing about this movie was, well, first of all, let's talk a little bit about what the movie was about. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Do you want? So, Adam Sandler
I'll let you do it.
Adam Sandler plays this guy. What was his name again?
David Busnick.
David Busnick, and he was like an assistant for like an assistant or some minor business executive in like a cat. Like a pet products advertising company.
Yeah, I believe he was an executive assistant to the head of creative marketing for a pet lifestyle company.
Yeah. So anyway, and
I think
he was very mild-mannered. He had very low self-esteem, low self-confidence. He was very withdrawn and kind of subservient to people. And it started back in '78 when he was a kid. And there was some street party, and there's kids out everywhere. And this girl, he liked this girl liked him, and they start talking. And they're playing Truth or Dare. And she dares him to kiss her. And so he does, and it's their first kiss, and then in front of everybody. And then this bully pants him and pulls his shorts and his underwear down to his ankles. So there he is, butt naked from the waist down, in front of this girl. And so from there on, because he'd gotten picked on by this bully, and that happened. What? Quit what?
Is it just me, or does a lot of Adam Sandler's movies start off with a flashback?
Yeah, he does all that stuff. Yeah, a lot of kid stuff. Yeah. So
like a lot of his movies in general just start with a flashback, don't they?
Yeah. I don't know if a lot of them do, but some have. But anyway, so
Grown Ups, Happy Gilmore, Waterboy, this one.
Okay.
Oh, no, that's 4. Click, 5.
Okay, I don't remember all of them, so I haven't watched every single Adam Sandler movie like you have. So, I'm not a huge Adam Sandler fan. So he's okay.
What about Ben Stiller?
Yeah, he's okay. Hope you guys.
I used to get those two mixed up a lot.
But anyway,
as a kid.
Apparently, somebody's cutting grass outside my backyard by my window. So I hope y'all don't. That's not disturbing to y'all. But anyway,
I don't hear it.
so anyway, so because that happened, because he was bullied, he became this very mild mannered guy, and he had this girlfriend, but he was always getting stepped on. He was always getting walked over by coworkers, by his boss, was very abusive to him, and it's just super meek, right? And then he's on a flight to go somewhere, and he ends up sitting by somebody's got his seat. He's like, excuse me, sir, but you're in my seat. And he's like, well, just go take my seat. Just walking all over him. So he does, and he ends up sitting next to Buddy Rydell, Dr. Buddy Rydell, which is Jack Nicholson. And they're sitting there talking, and Buddy is completely obnoxious watching a movie or whatever. And then he's trying to get David to watch the movie with him, but he doesn't have any headphones. So he's trying to get the headphones from the flight attendant. And he keeps calling, and she keeps saying, just hold on. And then she finally comes up to him, and he stops her and is asking, very mild-mannered, and she says, sir, don't raise your voice. And it just explodes and gets blown out of proportion. And then he gets accused.
Until the point of the Sky Marshal.
Of the U.S. Air Marshal. Yeah, the U.S. Air Marshal ended up tasing him. And it was like completely out of the blue. And so he ended up in court, and then he was going to get probation, and then he ended up accidentally trying to stop somebody or something. Anyway, he was about to get sent to. He was about to get sent to prison for a year. And Buddy came in and said, no, I'll take him and do intensive anger management, because Dr. Buddy Rydell is some world-renowned anger management specialist. So the rest of the movie is this 30 days intensive program where Buddy Rydell, Jack Nicholson's character, moves in with Adam Sandler for a month to try to work on him. And it's just fiasco after fiasco after fiasco.
It's hijinks out the wazoo.
Like your typical Adam Sandler movie. All these weird, silly, stupid things happening, and he's always going to have an opportunity to sing some kind of song in a girly falsetto voice, which he did. I feel pretty.
From freaking West Side Story.
Yes.
I feel pretty. Oh, so pretty. I feel pretty and witty and gay. So every time I hear that, I think of that scene in Friends when Chandler visits his dad's drag cabaret. Remember?
Mm-hmm. So that's the premise of the movie, and it seems like everything is going wrong, and it's like, okay, Buddy moves in with him, and then what else? What other kind of things happen? Buddy's.
Let's see.
You tell me some of the things that you thought that you liked or thought were funny or whatever.
Let's see. One morning, David was making Buddy some breakfast. He wanted eggs over easy, toast, just normal stuff.
After they'd slept in the same bed together the first night, because David only had one bed, and so Buddy was sleeping in the bed with David, and then after they get in bed, Buddy goes, "Oh, I forgot to tell you, I like to sleep in the nude," and he starts stripping his clothes off, and he's sleeping butt naked in the bed, in a full size bed, there's not a lot of room for them not to be touching. And then
he
the next morning
farts and says, "Do you hear that frog?"
You're right. So
remember that?
Yeah. So the next morning he tells
he's cooking him breakfast.
Yep.
He's trying to get a rush on just he's going to work on time. He needs to get to work on time, and then as he hands Buddy his food, he just takes one look at it and then throws it at the wall, breaking his plate, splattering the eggs, and he just screams, "I wanted them over easy, you idiot!" And he's just railing into him. And,
so Buddy
Buddy seems what the is going on?
Buddy seems like a psychopath. Buddy seems out of control. And he's supposed to be. Go ahead.
He makes David have a conversation with a drag hooker in the back of a car with this weird German accent.
Galaxia.
And dancing.
Yeah, Galaxia.
Oh yeah. I am from Lickin' the Dickin.
Yeah, whatever, buddy. Don't go there. Don't go there. So
I just like that line because Woody says it so freaking
yeah, well,
perfectly.
it was Woody Harrelson playing a cross-dressing prostitute. Right.
I mean,
So
he's just Woody Harrelson in anything is fantastic.
So-
Prove me wrong.
in the movie, everything seems to just keep
Getting worse and worse and
worse and worse. It's like they
The worst part of it, honestly, was when Buddy kind of finagled and sort of kidnapped David into driving up to a monastery and confronting
The
his
old
childhood bully, which was the one that pantsed him in the middle of that block party.
and that was John
And-
C. Riley. That was
Yeah,
John C.
and-
Riley. Yeah.
And it turns out this guy was now a full-on Buddhist monk staying at an actual monastery.
Mm-hmm.
And even then, as he was trying to apologize and try and get some closure, the guy was still laughing at what he did, which was pantsing him in front of everybody. And then Adam Sandler just goes nuts, and Postal just rocks his crap right in the nose.
Yeah.
And then it turns into a full-on brawl between him and a Buddhist monk in a Buddhist monastery.
So he
And it's
gets
just like,
in a
what the
fight.
heck?
He picks a fight with a Buddhist monk, and Buddy pulls a gun on the rest of the monks.
A
as they
water
get away.
gun, we find out
Well,
later.
it turned out as a water gun, but still. And then he encourages David to talk to some blonde bombshell in a bar. And he does, and that's Heather Graham. She plays a small role, and then they go, and then Buddy leaves, and so, so the girl gives him a ride back to her place while he's trying to find his way back to Buddy's place. They'd gone out of town, and then she starts talking about being fat and all this kind of stuff, and then she kind of goes ballistic and crazy and just goes nuts on David. David gets out of there. Turns out she was a former patient of Buddy's, and it was all a setup. It was all an actress, and it was all a setup to play a joke on David. But while that was happening, Buddy talked to David's girlfriend and told her what was going on, that he was out with another woman, and then
That caused crap going on.
And then Buddy convinced them both that they needed to have a trial separation, right? And
Then Buddy went out
and
with,
David
with Linda.
David agreed to it, and then Buddy goes out on a date with Linda, and then tells David that Linda is going to leave him, and they've fallen for each other, and they're going to be together. And sorry, David, you're out of luck. So, and then what happens?
Then he full on tackles him in his apartment, and we cut to a court scene of basically saying David is going to be charged and be sent to prison for at least 5 years, and through this whole thing, he's trying to hold back these tears, and you see a tear roll down his cheek. You know, he is freaking mortified. And then as they walk out of the courthouse, he sees Buddy take off the neck collar he wore to fake an injury, and he took it off, waved to David as Linda got in the cab with him, and he's got this crap-eating grin on his face.
Yeah,
and then David's boss calls him and gets all on his butt about a freaking fat cat clothes catalog that needed to be made. That David's been working on for the whole movie. So David brings it to him, and it's risque pictures of his boss with these fat cats in all these weird positions. And he's like, "Well, homie, it's your catalog. I thought you wanted your picture in it."
So anyway,
we have not even talked about Andrew. I'm not worried about Andrew.
That's whatever.
It's a big thing through the movie, though.
It's you know what? Look, Andrew's character was like that kind of character in all kinds of movies, where he was Linda's ex-boyfriend who
was still somehow best friends with him.
Yeah, and then he still had the hots for her. And Adam Sandler's character was jealous and insecure about him. It's one of those kind of characters. He really didn't play it.
He had a blue ribbon hog.
he really wasn't that. He doesn't really matter. That part of the storyline is really not that important. So anyway,
Part of the reason why he blew up and was able to move past all this stuff was because his boss actually gave Andrew the promotion he had originally promised David. You know.
So anyway,
and that caused him to go ballistic in the office.
So it all boiled down to all this, everything was coming to a head. He lost it and finally stood up to his boss, punched out Andrew in the office, found out that Buddy and Linda were going to a New York Yankees game because they were big New York Yankees fans. And she had always wanted to be kissed in public, and Adam's character could never do that. Her dream of proposal was to be proposed on the big jumbotron at a Yankees game. And so David took off to the Yankees game because he thought that was about to happen, that Buddy was about to propose to her at the Yankee Stadium. So he got to Yankee Stadium, was looking for, the guy was going out on the field to sing the national anthem.
Galaxia makes a comeback.
Hold on. So he's trying to jump the fence to get onto the field, and the security guard stops him. Turns out it's Gary, which is Woody Harrelson, which is
who is also Galaxia.
And he said, "Hey, Galaxia, I didn't, So Galaxia lets him on the field, and all of a sudden he starts speaking in his German accent again, and he goes out there and he grabs the mic and he says, "Linda, I love you," and all this kind of stuff. And please, don't marry Buddy. Will you marry me? And she says, "I will give you an answer on one condition: if you kiss me in front of all these people." And so that happens. They kiss, and then he graduates the anger management program. Come to find out, spoiler alert: the movie's 20 years old. Sorry, it was all a setup. The entire thing was a setup
from the
plane.
From the plane
from before the plane to then was all a setup. Linda had read Buddy's book, met Buddy at a book signing, told Buddy about David, and David had the classic anger turned inward. He was very mild-mannered because he turned all of his anger inward. He was a very angry guy. He just never showed it. He just turned it inward. And so because of that, he never stood up for himself. He never, all that kind of stuff. So Buddy, because he's so popular and so well known, was friends with the flight attendant, was friends with the air marshal, was friends with the judge, was friends with all these people. The girl in the bar was a former patient of his. All these people he had put in place to set this whole thing up to get David's character to get in touch with his anger and start to process it instead of turning it inward. The whole thing was a setup.
Yeah.
So that was the whole movie. Now, as far as I'm like I said, I'm not a huge Adam Sandler fan. I mean, he's okay. I liked 50 First Dates with Drew Barrymore. I like Grown Ups. I like those two. I didn't like the second Grown Ups. I like the first one.
50 First Dates was just too sad for me, because even in the end, I know it ended good because every morning she would see the video and remember this stuff and accept all this stuff. It still felt sad to me,
Well, but they made the best of a bad situation. And they were able to be together, and fell in love. So I thought, so I like that one. And I'm not a huge romantic comedy fan, but I like that one. As a matter of fact, I really don't like romantic comedies, but I like that one. I like Grown Ups. Not a huge fan of a lot of other ones. Longest Yard was okay, but that's just because of everybody else that was in it. This one, I remember when we watched it the first time, thought it was going to be hilarious. I didn't think it was that funny.
What about Waterboy?
Oh, God, I couldn't remember much about Waterboy. I don't know that I ever watched Waterboy all the way through, actually.
Happy Gilmore?
Happy Gilmore was okay, but, I mean, it's kind of like every other Adam Sandler movie. They're all kind of the same, just a different storyline. There's kind of the same formula. But anyway, so... just
as long as Rob Schneider is in it.
So... But you notice that since Rob Schneider wasn't in this one, they got Mayor Rudolph Giuliani at the Yankees game to be the one that said, "You can do it." Did you catch that?
Yes, I did.
Yeah. So anyway, So I didn't find this movie that funny in 2003 when I saw it. Didn't find it that funny this time either. It was okay. But it didn't
The
make me
funniest
laugh.
stuff was the funny stuff in my opinion was honestly the Woody Harrelson cameos.
To
Those
me,
those are the funniest parts.
to me, the funny stuff was the group, was the anger group, with Chuck and George, all you know,
The porn stars.
and the two girlfriends that. Their story of how they ended up in the group, I'm not going to repeat it, but it was pretty funny where one of them's fingertip got cut off and one of them's had, and then one of them.
Okay, I think the story went when one of them got one of their toes bit off and the other one got their nose broken.
I don't know, something like that. Anyway, it was and it was all part of a romp in the sack with a guy. So anyway, I thought that those characters were pretty funny. I enjoyed all the group characters. They were pretty good. Yeah, I liked I liked some of the cameos of John C. Reilly and Woody Harrelson, Heather Graham. I thought all three of those, even though their roles were small. And you know what? A lot of the characters, a lot of the cast, weren't even credited. They weren't even in the credits.
Really?
Let's see. Heather Graham was not in the credits. John C. Reilly was not in the credits. Harry Dean Stanton, who was the blind guy in the bar, he wasn't in the credits. He got that job because he and Jack Nicholson are best friends. And so Jack said, I want Harry to play that role. And so that's how he got the role. But they're not even listed in the credits.
In the general big name closing credits or like at all in the credits.
They weren't in the credits at all.
Really?
They weren't listed in the credits at all. No.
Wow, that's surprising.
And, you know, but I mean, some of the, I mean, those are pretty big names. Now, in 2003, they may not have been huge names at that time. I don't remember, but I mean, Harry Dean Stanton was. Good grief, he's been around forever. But you know, I mean, like John Turturro. I mean, come on, he was in Big Lebowski, Oh Brother Where Art Thou, the Transformer movies. He was in the Batman. So the cast was really.
Don't mess with the Zohan.
Yeah, he was in that. I mean, so the cast was really good, and I think they played their roles really well. I just didn't find the movie that funny. Gina, the blonde of the two girls in the anger group, that was January Jones, and I didn't even recognize her at first. And then I was kind of looking. I'm like, I think I know who that is. And I looked up the credits, and it's January Jones. She played Emma Frost in X-Men First Class. She was in the Ice Diamond Mutant. Did you see X-Men First Class?
One time long ago. The only thing I really remember is Magneto's backstory of basically being right. Jewish and lived through the Holocaust. That's
but yeah, so she played Emma Frost, and she's done some other things too. But anyway, so Ed, you remember when Buddy smashed that car window?
Yeah.
You know, and he picked up a golf club and he picked up a baseball bat and put the golf club down and smashed it with a baseball bat. Yeah. That was kind of a funny inside joke because Jack Nicholson actually did get arrested one time for smashing somebody's windshield with a golf club. So
wow.
So they made a joke about it by him picking up both and go, no, I'm not going to use a golf club this time. He used a bat. So
yeah. That's pretty funny. Did not know
that. Yeah. So anyway, like I said, the cast was good. Movie. The cast was good, and the group characters were great, but the movie itself, it's like whatever. I mean,
I'd give this movie a solid 7 out of 10.
It's like I've seen. I don't know. I wouldn't give it that. I'd maybe 5. Maybe 5. I've watched Growing Pains a few times because I find it funny. I've watched 50 First Dates a few times because I like it. I only watched this one time and had never really had any urge to see it again until we rolled for it. So
yeah.
So anyway, but yeah, so that's anger management. I like Jack Nicholson, and he was funny in his weird way. So, and he likes having fun. I mean, you know, he did he was at some award show. I forget which one. Maybe in the Academy Awards. I can't remember. And he was up to accept an award or something. And he got up there and turned around and did the Ace Ventura butt talking thing at an award show in his tux. He did the butt talking thing. I mean, he's kind of goofy.
As he accepted his award?
Something. He was either presenting or accepting an award or something. And
that would make more sense for Jim Carrey.
But I just thought it was kind of funny. So anyway, so if you like Jack Nicholson, if you're a big Adam Sandler fan, I'm sure you've seen this movie already. So usually if you're an Adam Sandler fan, you've seen all of Adam Sandler's movies. But if you're not and you like Jack, he's pretty good in it. It's a good cast. The group interaction is pretty funny, and watching them go off is pretty hilarious. But
Goosfraba.
And that was supposed to be their mantra word, Goosfraba. So that's why it's on the marquee. But anyway.
Goosfraba.
So I don't really have.
It's supposed to be some kind of Eskimo word. Eskimo.
And we're out of time. Yeah, we're out of time.
Which we actually did pretty good at keeping on time.
We timed it fairly well, not too bad. But anyway, so that's the movie. So you got anything else you want to say about anger management?
I want to see Woody Harrelson in drag in Zombieland. I want to see that happen.
I don't think you're going to see that happen just because of that character. That character would never go in drag. But anyway.
I know. That's okay. I just feel like it'd be funny to see.
Okay. So let's pull up and let's roll for our next movie and then we'll get out of here, okay?
Let's roll for the next installment of Roll for Credits.
So, got to roll and see what we're going to get here. So I rolled a 19, and 19 and 20 is roller gets to choose. So I get to choose. So I'm going to choose Amazon Prime, I think. Okay. Then I'm going to roll a 10-sided dice to see what genre. And I rolled an 8. And an 8 is horror, not one of our favorites.
Great.
Not one of our favorites. And then I'm going to roll the 100-sided die and
just
see
as long
which
as
movie
it's better than the freaking zombie musical we saw, the zombie Christmas musical.
And I rolled a 12, so it shouldn't take me too long to find it. So I'm going to scroll. I'm going to pull up Amazon Prime over here. That's what I've been doing, kind of tapping over here and pulling up Amazon Prime. So horror. I'm going to go to the horror listing, and I'm going to find the 12th movie, and that's what we're talking about next week. So y'all hang tight. I will be right back. Okay, so we are going to watch a movie from 2020, so a fairly new movie. Called The Wolf of Snow Hollow.
Huh.
Let me see
any big names?
Well, I'm going to get to that in a second, but it's under horror, mystery, and comedy.
Okay, please have someone in a bad wolf costume.
So we'll find out. But it says terror grips a small mountain town as bodies are discovered after each full moon. Losing sleep, raising a teenage daughter, and caring for his ailing father, Officer Marshall struggles to remind himself there's no such thing as werewolves.
Officer Marshall.
And it stars Jim Cummings. I recognize the name, but I'm having a hard time placing things that I've seen him in. Somebody named Ricky Lindholm.
No.
Her face looks familiar, but I don't know which. Robert Forster, who plays a sheriff in it, and Robert Forster, I think he's an Academy Award winner, but I don't really recognize any of these other names. So, go figure. So I don't, Jim Cummings I've heard of, Robert Forster I've definitely heard of, but some of these other folks I don't know who these people are. So
that's how it normally goes with us, Dad.
Yeah. So, anyway, it's a horror mystery comedy called The Wolf of Snow Hollow.
Wolf of Snow Hollow.
So we'll see what we're going to do next week. So that's what we're going to do. So we'll be back here next Monday night at 7 o'clock to do this again, talk about more random movies and more nerd stuff. Find more geek questions to talk about. If you want to just kind of hang out with us while we play video games, we do that on Saturday mornings at 8 o'clock. So come join us there. We did that. We started that this past Saturday in Minecraft Dungeons, and we're just kind of hanging out and doing that. So that's kind of fun. If you want to find us during the week, you can find the podcast at Genepool Variety Hour on Instagram or GP Variety Hour on Twitter. You can find me at Headgamer on Twitter. And where can they find you, Connor?
I'm not really on social media anymore, honestly.
You're kind of not.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I watch TikTok, but I don't post TikToks anymore.
you used to post tons of TikToks and had like thousands of followers and stuff. Well, you just got bored with it.
I had just over 1,000 followers. I don't know where you got thousands.
Well, you had thousands of views, but had 1,000 still.
Yeah.
You know how many more followers you had on TikTok than we have here? About 900, about 950 or whatever.
Yeah.
So anyway, so if you want to get in touch with the podcast, that's how you get in touch with the podcast. You get in touch with me through the podcast, that kind of thing. If you need to talk to Connor, just hit me up and I'll let him know.
Contact me through Dad.
Yeah. And if you want to if anybody wants a hashtag Team Connor shirt, because we've been talking about doing that, because we got some friends that are definitely Team Connor. Let us know, and I'll get one designed and throw it up on our t-shirt website, and we'll do that. But that's all we got for tonight. I don't think there's anything else going on.
Nobody's Team Sean, let's be honest.
Nobody's Team Sean. No. Why would you be Team Sean?
Mom maybe is. No. Let's be honest. She's Team Connor.
Everybody's Team Connor. Yeah, I'm just the old boring guy. So that's just me. But we're gonna come back and see y'all next Monday night.
You're the production monkey.
I'm production monkey. I need to get me a shirt that just says production monkey. Yep.
Yes.
Yep. Production monkey.
That is your
shirt. The logo
shirt.
here and production monkey on the back. That's what I'll do. Yeah. That'll be my shirt for Dragon Con when we go. I'll just get me a shirt that's got the logo here and production monkey on the back. That's it. And then yeah. And then we'll get one for you that's got the logo on the front and says hashtag Team Connor on the back.
Yes.
That's what we'll do. I'll get it designed. We'll get it thrown up. We'll get some of those done before Dragon Con.
Are we serious?
Yeah, why not?
Awesome.
So, and if you want to see us, if you'd like to meet us, if you're going to Dragon Con in September, we'll be there. It's actually going to be kind of Connor's bachelor party weekend because it's right before he gets married. We won't be broadcasting. We won't be broadcasting live, although that would be a dream to broadcast the podcast live at Dragon Con, like Horseshoes and Hand Grenades did that year. But anyway, or Botch does every year. But that's a pipe dream. So yes, you had a question before we go.
Yes. This year are you attending as an attending professional?
No.
Dang it.
And the reason why I didn't even bother is because we hadn't broadcast for 6 months.
Okay.
And I didn't think it was.
Next year we can do it.
Yeah, I didn't think it was fair for me to try to be a attending professional, and I wasn't an official attending professional last year, or was I? I was in the panel. I was on a couple of panels, and I was in the program. I just didn't have like a picture. So yeah, I kinda, but I wasn't an official attending professional because those guys, I think they get in for free, and I didn't get in for free. Yeah. But maybe next year, if we can stay consistent with this, maybe we'll do that next year.
That'd be awesome.
But I just didn't think it was fair for me to be presumptuous and try to do that, not having broadcast in 6 months because of the move and everything.
I get that.
And the studio build. So now Steven has already told me that if any of his panels get approved, he's going to make me be on his panel. So I'm probably going to be on a panel anyway. Gotcha. But I don't know what it is yet.
And I'll just be in the audience.
Yeah, you'll be
watching
the plant.
You get famous.
You'll be the plant in the audience. You're the famous one, not me. So
you're the one that gets on all the panels
because they know me, and I talk well, on those panels and stuff. That's all. That's not why they don't pick you. They just don't. They just don't know you. They just don't know you like they know me.
They know I'm hanging.
Well, no, that's not. That has nothing to do with it. It's that they just don't know you, and you're not involved in the group like I am. That's all. So anyway, so that's it for the week. So we're done. Thanks Ace for stopping by and hanging out with us for a while.
Oh yeah.
I'll get this pod put up on Podbean here soon.
You
you wanna
you can find us basically anywhere there is podcasts. Podbean, Apple Podcasts, iTunes, Spotify, any place there are podcasts, we're there.
Yep, because we're on the RSS feed. So just look for Gene Pool Variety Hour, and you'll find
have
us.
a lot of poles in the water. Come and bite.
If you like,
I wanna
you
really
know,
get
if you want to go to Spotify, if you want to go to iTunes and give us a review, that would be awesome. I would love to see that. We don't get those, but it would be cool if we did.
We have we have not gotten one at all.
Or just shoot it, or
Except
just
for
shoot
one from my wife, which I don't
yeah,
count.
Yeah. So just shoot us a message on Twitter or something, or Instagram, and let us know. I post there a lot, and just say hey, or stop by the stream sometime, or come by Saturday morning with your coffee, and I'll be drinking coffee and playing Xbox.
I'll be drinking most likely some kind of fruity beverage.
I'll be drinking coffee because I will have stayed up till 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning right before then playing Destiny. So, and then I'll get about 3 hours of sleep and then get up and play again with you.
That's your own fault.
It's fun. I don't mind. That's how I get my gaming in. So anyway, that's all we got. Y'all come back and see us next Monday night. All right. And I guess all that's done. And always remember.
All is said and done. And always remember, stay nerdy, my friends.
Bye, guys.
Goodbye.
You're still
Why
here?
you suck like this?
It's over. Go home.